benchmarks, which nowadays we're talking about back in the 1970s. They paid him this huge sum of money for his diaries. And they wouldn't show it to me because they claimed to be under contract, and they had Professor Krausnick, their chief historian, working on it with another historian who was preparing it for publication, doing all the kind of scientific annotations and all this kind of brow-furrowing, wrinkling, serious stuff that conformist historians do. Except I was coming along from time to time and saying there's something wrong with the Engel diary, because I had by now been allowed to see it by him. I went to his office in Dusseldorf where he was an arms dealer, and he allowed me to sit there reading through the 2 ring binders for one afternoon, and I typed up a few extracts, and I saw extracts in the Institute's card index as well. And I went back and compared it. I began typing out extracts to put in my card index, except I had a problem. If they were genuine diary, then it will match perfectly with my card index. But I had problems with his diary because November the 24th, 1942, for example, I think that's the date, he describes a blazing row between Hitler and Hermann Goering over the Battle of Stalingrad. Goering has promised to provide an airlift. The airlift is going wrong. The 6th Army is trapped in Stalingrad, and things are going wrong. And there's this blazing row on November the 24th, 1942, between Hitler and Goering in East Prussia, in Hitler's wartime headquarters. Except, according to my card index on that day, Hermann Goering is in Paris on a shopping trip. I mean, this is a pretty crass example. It shows that this can't have happened the way that Engel described, or at least not on the day, he says. This is an indication that he's written it after the war, that he's kind of remembered the episode and he's assigned a random date to it. Well, that's memoirs, that's not diary. A diary is a good source, memoirs is not a good source. Memoirs are written under the influence of the time matrix of the time the diary has been written. So it was suspect. And then I found more evidence. I mean, the Engel diary is a particularly good example. I by now obtained the private diary of the widow of General Schmundt, who was one of the 3 people killed on